Hello everyone, my name is Diya Mary Mathew and I'm currently pursuing my degree in Accounts and Finance from HR College of Commerce in Mumbai. I am a student entrepreneur based in Kochi and I'm here to share my experience as a home baker. To talk about how I started off, I used to see my amma or amama bake something when I was a kid and eventually I picked the skill up. Later in 2017, one of my friends started a juice shop and he wanted me to bake red velvet cupcakes for him. And I gave it a shot and things clicked, I guess. But then in 2019, I moved to Mumbai for my degree. So then I stopped baking. Then in the August of 2020, my family and friends told me this is the best time to start the Mama Bakes or Bake D, and I started off doing it more professionally. I started my Instagram handle, and that's what the Mama Bakes is. The first thing that I learned was time management because initially I used to finish one item and then move on to the next. So I was using up a lot of fuel as well. So then I started finishing up all the baking first and then I moved on to frosting, and this helped me be a lot more efficient. The second thing that I learned was inventory management. So when the Instagram page started gaining numbers, I was not able to keep a track of my inventory because orders just poured in and things were all over the place, and gradually I learned to stock things up on time. The third thing that I learned was never to be messy. In the start, I was really messy, and Amma always told me that baking doesn't get over with just doing the baking and getting it delivered. And she had to keep pushing me to do the dishes as well because only then it's completely over. The process is completely over only when we're done cleaning as well. The fourth thing that I learned was I can't do everything by myself. Sometimes I will have to seek help. So initially, how I got my cakes, cupcakes, and cookies delivered was through my brother or my mother. My mother and I used to carry things around in a basket in our car, and we used to go everywhere and give it to our friends. But later on, when the orders increased and I realized I was not able to meet the targets, I started trusting a few other apps. The fifth thing that I learned was to be consistent. See, even if we don't get better all the time, we always have to maintain a certain standard. So once you keep that bar, you can never go below it. So you always have to be consistent, and that's one thing I learned because you can never fall back on people's expectations. The sixth thing that I learned was keeping a track of people's preferences. This is not the easiest thing to do, but then when you're doing a small business, you have a small clientele, right? So it's pretty easy to actually, keep a track of what people like. So I actually note down if people like the brownies a little salty or if this person's a sweet tooth or not. Sometimes my cakes don't look perfect or they don't look straight out of a magazine and they fall apart. And such things keep happening. But we're all gonna learn from our mistakes and eventually, become better. I'm glad I could share my experience with this little business of mine. And I hope these small tricks and tips helped you out as well. Thank you so much.